Morning, mathematicians, and welcome to our math workshop. We're going to start by doing a little review of what we learned yesterday. Yesterday, mathematicians identified 10 more, 10 less, 1 more, and 1 less than a two-digit number within 100. So we have the number 27, and we represented it using tens and ones. So we have 2 tens, 7 ones, and we're asked to find one more than 27. So let me ask you, are we going to add a 10 or are we going to add a 1? We're going to add a 1. So 1 more than 27 is 28. Now we have the number 85. And we're being asked to find 1 less than 85. So we have 8 tens, 5 ones. And 1 less will be, we have to take 1 away. And we end up with 84. Let's continue. Now we're being asked to find the 10 more. So we have the number 43, 4 tens, 3 ones. So 10 more than 43. What do we have to do? We have to add a 10. Did you see that? So 10 more than 43 is 53. So the last one, we're being asked to find 10 less than 66. So what do we have to do? We have to take away 10. So 10 less than 66 is 56. Today, mathematicians will use the symbols greater than, less than, or equal to compare quantities and numerals up to 100. So we're going to use these symbols greater than, less than, equal to. So in identifying the numbers and using the symbols correctly, we have to take a look at the openings. Okay? One thing I want to remind you is to always think of the alligator. We always say that the alligator is going to eat the bigger number. So the symbols, for example, greater than in this case, is going to be, the opening is going to be pointing to the bigger number. So the opening points to the bigger number. Don't forget that. So in this case, 35 is greater than 23. So in here, I reverse the numbers. Now we have 23 and we're comparing it to 35. So which number is the alligator is going to eat? The alligator is still going to eat the 35 because it's bigger. But did you notice how the symbols reverse? Because now the endpoints, the smaller endpoints is pointing to the smaller number. And the openings are still pointing to the bigger number because the alligator always eats the biggest number. So in this case right here, now we have 35 being compared to 35. And what do we notice about these numbers? They are both equal. So we don't need to use greater than, we don't need to use less than, we're going to use equal because the numbers in the tens place is the same, the numbers in the ones place is the same, and 35 equals 35. Now, mathematicians, we're going to follow the video to complete our lesson. Work along.
All right, this is first grade, Module 6, Lesson 6, and in this lesson, students are going to be using those classic greater than, less than, equal sign symbols, whatever direction I'm thinking of it backwards. Anyway, they're going to be using those classic greater than, less than, and equal symbols to compare two two-digit numbers. Now, parents and teachers, at this point, it's perfectly fine for us to use that cute little alligator mnemonic that the alligator always eats the bigger number. That is perfectly fine because it doesn't allow students to get the answer without developing an understanding. It's a mnemonic that preserves the math understanding, so it's perfectly fine for us to use the alligator mnemonic. So let's get, let's just get started. Sheesh, what an intro. So anyway, so we're going to start that practice of comparing these numbers, and we're going to use that alligator. So let's first ask our students, all right, which number is bigger? Is the 60 bigger, or is the 86 bigger? Now, parents and teachers, if you want, you may need to, and I'll zoom in on this, you may need to use those quick tens. For example, 60 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens and no ones, while 86 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our 86. And so you may want to use the quick tens, and so that we see that this is 6 tens while this is 8 tens. But you don't have to. But once we've done that, we've now done the legwork to say that, okay, well, 86 is bigger than 60, so that means our alligator is going to want to eat the larger number. So he is facing the larger number and he's about to eat it, and if you want, you're welcome to put in teeth. Totally not necessary. Now, parents and teachers, honestly, there are some mathematicians out there, I kind of see them as, I don't know, maybe a little snobby, in that they're saying the alligator is a silly trick to use and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't think it is. Let the kids draw the alligator teeth if they want. Certainly use it as a mnemonic for helping students remember which direction to make that symbol. So let's do the next one. We've got 5 tens, 4 ones versus 54, and we want students to recognize, hey, wait a second, these are both the same. They're both talking about the same thing. How do we know? Well, we could draw it. So there's 5 tens, 4 ones, and then what does this number mean? Well, that means 5 tens and 4 ones. And so our students will see that, oh, the pictures are identical, so that means these two numbers are equal. So we can put in our equal sign. And then let's do F. You have 1 10, 3 ones. You have 3 tens, 1 1. So even though the digits are the same, they're in different orders. We have 1 10. Over here we have 1 1. Here we have 3 ones. Here we have 3 tens. So we're going to see that 31 is larger. So the alligator is, of course, going to face towards the 31 and get ready to eat it. Now here's kind of a tricky one. This is really interesting. Now what makes this tricky? Well, you see that we have 17 ones. So let's model this. So I'm going to use my quick tens, and I'm going to model this as 1, 2, 3 tens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's model 2 tens and 17 ones. So 2 tens, there's our 2 tens. Now what does 17 ones look like? Well, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what we're seeing is this counts as a 10, doesn't it? So we actually have 3 tens and 7 ones. So we could think of this as 3 tens and 7 ones. So which is larger, 3 tens and 5 ones or 3 tens and 7 ones? Well, definitely 3 tens and 7 ones. So once again, our alligator is eating the number on the right. So here, parents and teachers, this is really just more of the same, only we've kind of removed a little bit of scaffolding because we also want students to connect that symbol, that alligator symbol, to the phrase is greater than, is less than, or is equal to. All right, so it's perfectly fine for students to start down here and say, well, we've got 42 and we've got 12. And then we are going to use our alligator to, in this case, it's going to be eating the number on the left, so it's going to be eating the 42. So, if we're going to read this from left to right, 42 is compared to 12. What is 42? Is 42 greater than 12? Is 42 less than 12? or is 42 equal to 12? Well, we definitely know that 42 is greater than 12. And so that's how we do it. We're going to start with a number and say 42 is, and then we have to decide which phrase makes sense. For example, question B, we've got 6 10s, 7 1s, so that's going to be the number 67. And over here, 5 10s and 17 1s, so that's really 10 plus an extra 7. So we actually have 6 10s and 7 1s. So we see that's equal. So is our phrase is greater than, is less than, or is equal? Well, this one is kind of easy. It's is equal to. And the last one, let's just do question C. So we've got 37. We've got 73. Parents and teachers, you see why we chose these two numbers? Because it's the same digits, just in a different order. And our alligator is going to eat the 73. So how do we use this using words? So we're going to start with 37. 37 is what compared to 73? Well, 37 is less than 73. So 37 is less than 73. So you're getting the idea. This is how we're going to begin connecting words to the symbol by thinking of it as a sentence and saying, well, how do we make this sentence make sense? Is 37 greater than 73? No. 37 is less than 73. And that wraps up first grade Module 6, Lesson 6, using a mnemonic to teach students how to use these symbols and how to say them in words.